Mic'd up.
All right, we're back.
Hello.
Button. It's just me and Adam today. You get the
Sorry.
hostesses with the mostesses.
And Kramer's nose.
Kramer schnoz. Sorry. Forgot about Kramer schnoz. So, to much of our dismay, the Yankees have done that Jack Diddley squad. So we're going to keep our Yankee hot stove talk intermittent throughout the conversation here. But really, the Yankees have done Jack's squad, so we're not going to talk about them that much. The most recent article by John Heyman, and maybe he spelled everything right this time, was that the Yankees made an offer to Snell, and he wants more than $200 million. But we'll talk about that later. But really, signing Weaver doesn't cut it as a story. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about food. And we're going to talk about all of the food choices, best, worst, and others that everybody has, and that sent it in via voice and text message to me and Adam at stadiums and arenas around the land. But we're going to start first with a reach out to a particular former, current, and future co-host of the show. Adam, you want to chime in and talk about your brother?
Yeah. We've those of you who are thousands and thousands of loyal fans who participated in one of our shows a few weeks ago got to meet on Brothers Night my bestest brother in Big Toe, Sergeant Hulka Schneider. Steve is recovering in the hospital tonight. It's a little illness. I just saw him. He's getting better. We were joking around. He was helping us with the content here. He's doing better. But a little shout out to the big brother who's having a hard time right now. But we love you, Steve, and we miss you. We can't wait for you to get back out and on the show with us.
And as everybody knows him, he's the guy with the very big head.
Yes, it is. Beard. And it's a little less. He's lost a lot of weight. So his head is actually getting smaller.
I'm actually surprised the top of his head is so wide because being a Schneider, there's not much in there.
There is nothing in there. In fact, he went to have his head x-rayed and they found nothing.
That's what I've been telling my mother about my father who's going for x-rays.
Whenever my brother and me, actually, whenever we get someone who like checks out our ear, do any kind of ear examination, we always kind of have to do this because if there's anything written on the wall, they'll screw up whatever they're trying to get.
Well, when the doctor talks in there's an echo as well, isn't there?
That's right. Hello.
We're hoping Steve for a quick recovery. We love Steve. Yeah. Matter of fact, we both like Steve better than we like Adam. Even Adam likes
Everyone
Steve
says that. Like Adam. Everybody says that. It's true. Hey, listen, you can't compete with the great Steve Schneider. All right.
Yeah, but then again, people like my brothers better than me, but they don't know them like I know them.
I definitely like your brothers more than you. I don't know Todd as much. But I definitely like Richard. He's a much better ball player than you.
Yeah, Richard's a better ball player than I am.
I'm gonna get a big FU. I'm about to get a big FU from your brother. I know. I can hear the text already.
You're talking about a guy who couldn't throw the ball back to Mariano Rivera because he was too nervous.
Oh, what are the great moments? All he kept saying is, I can't believe I got to do this. I can't believe I'm going to do this. And then I said, no stress at all. If he breaks his ankle falling off of mountain, don't worry. He's only Mariano. Don't worry. Not a happy day. Not a good thing. Not a good showing. We should have a show about that one day, by the way, that whole experience. One day. Anyway, so do you want to go into the topic or do you want to talk a little bit about the Yankees before?
No, I want to talk about next week's show.
Oh, a special.
We have a special live remote broadcast from Yankee Fantasy Camp. Mr. Dan Kramer, K-Dog, will be live at Yankee Fantasy Camp talking to fantasy campers that are willing to talk to him about their favorite Yankee venue. That would be the original stadium, which was there through 74, right? 73. Shea Stadium for 74 and 75.
And then, right?
Then the new stadium from 76 to 08. And then the brand new stadium from '09 through today. And as a matter of fact, one of the people who chimed in about our food today has a lot to say about Yankee Stadium.
Mm.
So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'm being told that my microphone is too low, which is probably good for the crowd, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets better. Can
All
you
right.
hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Hearing you fine, brother.
All right, I'm just talking to our producer.
Okay, so going to going. Hey, you know what? You want to do our thing, or how do you want to
Well, we
do
got to talk
this?
about Kramer's going to be. I guess they talked about Kramer. So,
Yeah, you did. So, but tell her it's a different night. We're doing Tuesday
oh
night.
yeah, it's right. It's Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Eastern.
Yes, down in from live from Tampa, live from Steinbrenner Field.
Maybe Steinbrenner Field.
No,
We
no,
don't
not
know.
Steinbrenner Field. You're right. They might do it somewhere else because Steinbrenner Field is being renovated right now. For
But
those
then
of
again,
you who don't know,
will they be having the cigar night and whiskey tasting that they've been having, which is one of the best events
it's
ever
great.
put on. One of the best events ever put on at Yankee Fantasy Camp.
And shout out
Generally,
to Dave DeMayo, who
Dave
I
DeMayo
think
set it up. Absolutely.
another
One of the
friend of the
best
show.
events. You go there and never mind the fact, I don't know if I could find the pictures, but they have the cigar honeys who are giving out
Mm-hmm.
cigars to every camper, which then means those that don't smoke cigars give their cigars to me, which means I end up with a lot of cigars.
Mm-hmm.
And they've added, didn't they add a whiskey tasting, didn't they?
They have different. They had whiskey. They had vodka a couple of years ago. Vodka was very good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I have
And
to say.
this was set up by Dave DeMayo, helping the Yankee Fantasy Camp setting up, and it's an
And and
unbelievable event.
and and I think El Duque Hernandez is involved with his business, his cigar business. So this is it's a win-win. Everybody loves it, has a great time. It's after the first set of games, so we already had 3 heart attacks and and injuries like you wouldn't believe. So it is that first day is always rough. I don't know for anybody who goes to fantasy camp. Um, this is rough. The first day, everybody kind of overdoes it a little bit, and they always tell us to start slow and taper off. But when you're out there for the first time, a lot of these guys just let it loose. So we've got a lot of injuries. So it's it's always fun. It's just it's a great night. Everybody's in a really good mood and really excited. So we'll
Oh,
have
it's
Kramer.
it's tons of fun.
Yeah, we will have Kramer on on assignment. We'll see if he rises to game. I have lots of confidence in Kramer and his nose, and we will have a very good time, no doubt.
And I'm hopeful, Adam. It is a lot of pressure on you because you're going down there this week to train Kramer on how to do this job.
Sit, Kramer, sit.
So
Yes, I will
Kramer,
do my best.
and we do have a special bonus offered to Kramer.
Ah, yes.
Yes, there's a special bonus to Kramer. We could probably say it because I'm sure Tanyan's not watching.
Yes,
So
and we know Tanyan Sturts is a loyal listener
if
of
Kramer,
Yankees Coast to Coast.
his arch nemesis, Tanyan Sturts, to participate in our podcast, he wins not one, but 2 dinners at his favorite barbecue place near his house.
Mm-hmm. That is
So
true.
we'll go from there. All right.
Yeah.
So tonight's topic.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's topic is your favorite ballpark or stadium or arena food, where you had it and why it's the best. Adam's gone.
I'm
And
here.
your
I'm just
worst
turning up.
stadium and your worst stadium food and where you had it and why it's the worst. And we're gonna start if Adam will come back to us. I don't know if he's getting visual aids or not.
No,
Or
I'm trying to
aids.
just improve the lighting. My lighting is a little bit off. My apologies.
Well,
Can you see me? Okay?
my whole life is not good, so we're okay. So Adam's going to start us off with his personal stories of food at a stadium.
Okay, so my favorite food of all at Yankees, and it's a go-to, and it's really very simple, because I don't go to the stadium to eat. I go to watch ball game, and I just so food is sort of a secondary to me. But there are things that are great, and what I like more than anything are the Nathan's combo at Yankee Stadium. So you get 2 hot dogs, and you get a pile of these amazing Nathan fries for a very, very worthwhile, inexpensive $33. Maybe 12. I don't know. It's
I think it's like
incredible.
17, but that's okay.
It's so expensive, but it's a real joy. So I love it. The things I like least is sushi. I don't know what motivated me to have it, but I had sushi at Yankee Stadium once, and the the roll, it really felt like somebody had stepped on it, heeled in a couple of times, and then picked it up and then rolled it into the roll. It was horrible. So I never did that once. And the other was chicken teriyaki at Yankee Stadium that had 4 million grams of salt. Literally said that. It wrote, "Please be careful. Warning, Surgeon General, warning, 40 million grams of salt in this meal. I've never tasted anything so horrible. Threw it out immediately. Guess
So
what I did
Kramer,
right after?
so Kramer with his tinnitus can't have any of that stuff.
No, can't have no salt, Kramer. But let me ask you though, what do you think I had right after I threw out the sushi and the chicken teriyaki at Yankee Stadium, which again was horrible? What do you think I
I would
had?
imagine you'd have to go back. Look, first of all, let me just say one thing before I tell you what you had. I'm going to guess. Nathan's. I don't have Nathan's out here in California. We can get Nathan's onion rings in the freezer section. I want Nathan's fries because by far the best fast food fries in the world
They're really
are
amazing. And
Nathan's.
remember the little fork? Remember the fork?
Oh yeah, you
But
get the
then
little
people,
fork at the stadium.
no, you don't anymore because somebody gouged somebody's eye out at one of the. I guess it was a
Why did you?
playoff game. They went after a Red Sox fan. That was
Well, I
the.
would have thought it was you going after Kramer, but that's a different story.
That was always something I did when he'd make me get beer for him. Every now and then, I don't know, everybody has a friend that who calls you and says, "Hey, I have tickets. You want to go tonight?" Oh, thank you, no problem. I'd love to. With Kramer, if you do that, you're then obligated to be his major domo for the entire evening. I basically have to buy everything. I offer to pay for the ticket. Oh no, Schneider, it's okay. But you can buy me dinner. So I have to go looking for the dinner and then going to a special beer that he likes. He has an IPA that he goes
Oh,
crazy for, and he makes me
oh.
look for it. It's 3 innings blown at the game because Kramer needs me to feed him. So if anybody out there has done this with Kramer, they know what I'm talking about. You have to pay. Nothing is free. There are no free lunches in the
Anyhow, but
Kramer.
he's getting the reason he's getting two dinners for the Sturts interview would be because when you go out
Correct.
with Kramer, he orders two dinners. So we just figured we'd give him two. He might actually order four because we promised him two. So anyhow, I think you
Yes.
went back to the Nathans, Adam. Getting back to your story, I think you went back to the Nathans because you had to go back
Yeah.
to the solids.
Correct. So back to that was my next meal. Uh, but the funniest thing, one of the great things that's happened. I don't know if anyone remembers in Yankee Stadium they used to, um, and I'm sure they do it to some of the ballparks. But Breyers is a famous brand of ice cream here, and I think we have this story. If you want to play it,
Where
it's
is it? Is it
it's
your
under
brother's?
under my brother. Yeah.
All right. So this Steve chimed in from his bed. Steve chimed in, and this is the story he told us.
This is Steve Schneider, or on behalf of Steve Schneider tonight. I'm remembering a story at Yankee Stadium in the old days. They used to sell Breyers ice cream cups in 6-ounce cups with a top that would pop off. And we'd sit in the upper deck and could throw those damn things as frisbees 300 yards until they hit somebody square in the face. What a great memory.
Now you got to remember it was chocolate and vanilla split in half, and there was never enough vanilla. It was always too much chocolate. It just always
How can it
annoyed
be?
me.
Wait, time out, time out. How can it ever be too much chocolate?
It just always was. I don't know why. It'd be like it was more like 2/3 of it was chocolate and 1/3. So and it was still a joy. I loved it, but you'd pop off this thing with this very un-PC like thing. It never have it today, but it would pop off the top, and then it would turn this thing, transition it into the most aerodynamically perfect missile, ever invented. And my brother, great skill, would turn around and flip it out and it was literally like this, and he'd have that same look on his face. It would fly from third base all the way to right field. And then it would invariably always had a little chocolate and vanilla on the inside. And it would always whap some guy right in the face. And you'd see the look on his face from 300 yards away. And you'd hear a sort of a groan in the crowd from doing it.
It's not even like the paper from the hot dogs wrapping around. It's actual flipping of the. Oh my God.
And it would land, and it was like this perfect slat, and you'd hear it from afar. And then of course somebody would always point us out, and we'd have to leave our seats because it was them, it was these guys. So this is one of our, now we were
kind of scary.
We were 27 or 28 years old. It was no problem. But
I'm waiting for you to say we were 8, 10 years old.
We were in our 20s, But that was funny. And then finally, the last one was we went to get food at the old ballpark, and there was a period towards the end where there's just nothing. The Yankees stopped caring, and they just had nothing to eat. And you'd go and you'd wait on some food court, and we thought, let's have a burrito. So we wait on line for 30 minutes. We're standing there, innings are going by, the game's not happening. The old stadium there was no TVs, nothing. You hear it going on, and you run out and see. But we got this food, and as we got, this woman looks at us with a hairnet, and she goes, "What can I give you?" And then we said, "We'd love the burrito." So as she's making the burrito, she's having a full-on conversation with somebody, and a piece of whatever she had been eating comes flying out like a projectile out of her mouth right into our burrito. And the greatest thing, if there was a camera on us, you would have seen us both go like this. So because we're morons, we didn't walk away. We said, "Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can I have another?"
Thank you. And we just walked away. And then the closest garbage can could not be close enough. It was and this is what we would go through. So anyway, those are my, and that's really, again, thank you. I just wanted to cheer my brother up because I know he's listening. And sorry for the long stories, but those are great food moments at Yankee games from our 20s and 50s.
20s and 50s. So along those lines, I'm stealing a line from one of our other readers or listeners, but I'm going to tell you the best and worst food that I've ever had at a stadium was at the Oakland Coliseum. They used to have dollar dog night. And I swear to God, the dogs touched the dirty water for about 10 seconds. And then they were served because everybody was getting, dollar dogs. Come on. So they were the worst hot dogs ever.
So undercooked, completely undercooked.
Well, hot dogs are cooked. You can eat a raw hot dog. It's cooked. Whatever it is, whatever type of meat it is cooked. But these things came to us, and they probably just dipped them in the water, put them in a bun, and served them up. They were awful. I still ate 5. Don't get me wrong. I ate 5 of them. So they were great. And I don't, I'm not drinking or anything, so I'm doing this straight. Then the other part of it's best. I was at the game with my friend Sean Keister. So he also had a big guy. So he had 5 too. And after, of course, a lot of this.
Was that you?
A lot of this. And a lot of that. We went back the next night. And wait, it was a night game. So the next night we went, and it was cold. So Sean reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out 2 hot dogs from the night before.
From the other night.
Yeah, from the night before. And he eats them. It was fantastic. Dollar dogs. We took a couple ago and we ate them the next day at the stadium. What's the big deal? It's not like a hot dog.
Trigonosis. just trigonosis. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, come on. It was cooked. God. It was it's a cooked dog.
I don't know. I think that things go. I think those things have about a 73-second shelf life.
No way. The
Afterwards,
half-life of those things is at least 4,000 years. At least. It was delicious. He had no
well,
problem.
you know what? You're here to tell us the story. I assume that Sean Keister is still alive, albeit with a name like Keister.
That's Sean Keister there for you. So that's that. But the other thing that I had that was actually the best food, one of the best things I've ever had at a stadium was in San Diego at Petco. Oops, I think I lost you there for a second. Hold on. Can you see me?
You are like this.
Petco Park.
There you go. Now you're back.
Park. First, I've been to Petco a couple of times. Matter of fact, I just got back from San Diego yesterday, but it didn't go to Petco. And we went there, and I had the pork belly nachos. Oh my God!
I hear you.
These things were freaking fantastic. Imagine the best nachos you ever had. Instead of the regular traditional meat on it, pork belly. Oh my God, were they freaking fantastic! And I won't even play the sound effect because it didn't cause that kind of problem.
Why is it that the food at other places is so good, and the Yankees? I mean, is it just that they don't care? It just seems to me that everything the Yankees make, and they have lots of like good-looking food, or at least the ads on it. And they have this big event just before they open the ballpark every year. About like every season, they'll have like this year Yankees special food, and they go in the press com and they talk about it. And all I know is by August, everything that they have tastes exactly like the teriyaki with all that salt.
Nothing. Well, I'm a Sharks season ticket holder, and every year the Sharks do that for the fans. They also have a meet and greet with the players. Mm-hmm. So I went to the one this year, and let me tell you, it was fantastically run. They didn't serve the cookie nachos. And my son Max, who's in the press, they get an entire day to go in and try all the food at the stadium.
Wow, that's great. My nephew is the same thing.
So they write about the food. So I will say this to you. I pulled a couple articles, and this one from the Thrill List, written by a guy named Will Fulton, has the ranked stadiums from 1 to 30, baseball stadiums only, best food to worst food. Yankee Stadium ranks 7th. Just so you know where Yankee Stadium ranks, it ranks 7th. The worst food in all of baseball, the Oakland Coliseum. But it's not ranked the worst food because it's the worst food. It's ranked the worst food because the best food at the Oakland Coliseum now is the food trucks that they bring to Championship Plaza. So they have to bring in food from a food truck in order to make it the best. So they ranked it 30th because of that. I will tell you, the food trucks are fantastic food, but when you have to bring in food trucks to make your food good, it's not good.
You got a problem.
I do like the garlic fries in Oakland better than the garlic fries in San Francisco. And they used to have the best barbecue place in Oakland, and it closed because 2/3 of concession stands are closed because you're only getting 10,000 fans a game at that. And they do have helmet nachos, which are pretty good. But that's it. What's that noise?
Oh, sorry, it's just my sound coming through an email.
Let's play. All right, so now we've got our producer and the reason that we're on this show, so anybody who doesn't like us can blame him. Rob Weber from the Highlights from Low Life show. He's chimed in with his favorites, Highlights from Low Life's Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. 4 guys sitting around talking about sports and current events.
Shameful plug.
Oh, of course. How can I not shamefully plug him? Come on. Plug. The guy's great. I haven't listened to the show from yesterday yet because I was on a plane.
Very good show. Our friend Ezra Mermelschwanz. Ezra Mermelschwanz, an FOS, friend of the show, is
friend of the show. All right, Webby, what do you got to say?
Best food item, spring training, Glendale. A slice of pizza that's 17 inches long and absolutely delicious. Wow. Worst food item, anybody that's still trying to pass off Dippin' Dots as the ice cream of the future.
I agree there. Now, I will say this. When Rob says 17 inches, his girlfriend thinks this is 17 inches. So, she thinks this is 17 inches. So
family show.
Could be a little off.
Family
So
show. May I remind
17
you?
inches is that's a regular New York
Big.
slice.
That's a big piece of pizza. But everything tastes. Every other pizza. Listen, I love Chicago deep dish. Don't get me wrong. I am a big fan of Illuminati's and even I've even gone to the real Pizzeria Uno, the original on Ohio.
I've been to
Great
that.
pizza. Great special experience, especially watching a Cubs game. Go in there, turn on the Cubs. They start plying you with beer, and then your pizza comes out, and you're already bombed. But no, there's really good pizza. But I've never really heard about a Glendale, Arizona pizza place that's that good. But that's we learn. This is why we do this show. We learn. We have a disparate group of people with all coast to coast, and we get to
Hundreds,
learn.
thousands.
You know, I'd say we'll break 1 million within a couple of weeks. What do you think? I think we're on our way.
I don't see how we're not doing it right now. So I will say, so now that I told you Oakland Coliseum was last, and on every list I pulled, every single list, whether it was top 10, top 20, every single list I pulled, the one from the Will Fulton character, the one from the USA Today Reader's Choice in September of 23, the pitchers list by a guy named Sean Roberts, and the Fanimal list by Tom Spruce all rank Seattle as the best T-Mobile Park as the best food in all of baseball. Now, I've been to T-Mobile Park and I've taken a tour. It's a great stadium. But Adam, you've been there for a game and you said you've eaten there.
I have. I don't remember. I hate to say it. I was there with my boss. I was probably nervous and didn't eat anything. But I did. I did. Back in the days, I worked for Microsoft, so that was a thing. The minute I would come out to visit my boss in Microsoft, he would invariably take me to a ball game, and I loved it. I thought it was probably one of the nicest ballparks in the country. I was there for both open roof games, closed roof. I had felt there was no difference. I really didn't care. It was still beautiful no matter what, whether you were inside or outside.
I felt that way about Arizona.
I've never been. I've been there. I had a tour like you. I did a tour there, but I never went in.
Arizona's a good. I like the Arizona State. San Diego's a great stadium.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego is also a great stadium. But as far as a roof stadium goes, the only stadiums that I've liked that I've been to that are roofs are both in Seattle, even though I haven't been to a game there, and in Arizona, the stadium when the roofs open or close.
Have you been? So you've never been to Tampa? You've never been to St.
Well, Tampa doesn't open. Miami.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as have you ever been to a game there? Have you ever been to an indoor game where they did not have an open roof?
Have I ever been where they didn't have the option? Because I went to an Arizona game where the roof was closed. I've been to Arizona games where the roof's open or closed.
And that doesn't matter, right? There's something about the way they're designed where you don't feel like you're inside. It's okay.
Well, it's grass. It's grass in Arizona.
That's part of it. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what dome baseball games I've been to, and I don't know that I've actually been to just a regular dome. Like I never made it out to Minneapolis for the Hefty Bag Dome.
The new place is is open air, right? The new.
So I will say this: Target Field got high marks, finished second on most of the lists, and we do have somebody who chimed in. My friend Mike Rattenbaugh chimed in with regard to Target Field. They have a Cuban sandwich shop owned and operated by Hall of Famer Tony Oliva, who is there for most games.
Nice.
And he will serve you the Cuban sandwich. So that's a good thing to know.
Not bad. Not bad.
Rattenbaugh has a good story. He said that he went to a concert with Drew Mandler, and they bought a $10 beer. So this has to be years and years ago because it's one, not called the Felt Forum anymore, and two, where can you get a $10 beer at any stadium? And they bought it at the concession stand, and they were not allowed to bring the beer into the concert hall at the Felt Forum. That seems like a pretty big scam.
That is something you don't see anymore. And in fact, you got to think about it. It's amazing that they ever did, because back in the day, we had commercials that would talk about having one beer or more than one.
Absolutely.
And as a lead-in,
Matt Shale, he is a loyal listener as we look at our stats every week. This is where I stole my line from. The best item and the worst item are exactly the same. Schaefer beer at Shea Stadium. Their jingle, Schaefer, the one beer to have when you're having more than one, is true. The more you drank it, the drunker you got, and it helped you forget how bad of a beer it was. Also, the price was right, and you can get a beer for a reasonable ballpark price at Shea. So he's dating himself, not to mention Shea's been gone since '08. He said also when you bought the beers at the old stadiums from the vendors, they would come out with the cup that had the inexpensive plastic wrap over the cup. So that when they got to you, the plastic had already sunk down an inch from all the beer that they spilled. And again, beer so bad and priced right, you didn't mind having some of it spilled on you before you go. Now, I will want to play something for you right now. You ready? Let me see. I'm gonna also reverse my camera so we can watch this. You ready?
Boy, we can turn. There it is.
Oh, I turned my camera off. Let's see. What do we got now?
There it is.
Ready?
No pornos. No pornos,
no,
please.
No porn. All right, so that's one hint, but let me show you the better one. You ready? Paul Anka sang their song in their commercial.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. I said Schaefer, pleasure doesn't fade even when your thirst is done. The most rewarding flavor in this man's world for people who are
having fun. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Who is singing that?
That is Paul Anka singing the Schaefer song.
No, I was saying you. I was like, what on earth?
Oh, that was me singing too. Sorry.
Boy,
oh boy. Now
don't quit your day job.
I don't. Will never quit my day job. That's the first time I've ever sang in public. I've been banned from every karaoke bar in the United States and Japan.
Wow.
Now, there is another beer. My friend Nick Pasianos chimed in, and he prefers
Rheingold. There's a theme here.
He prefers Rheingold beer, and here's their theme song, and it should sound somewhat interesting to you. Let me see if I can get this one going. Ready? Oh, I have the commercial on. Here we go.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. East side, west side, and up, down and down. Rheingold extra dry beer is the beer of great renown. Friendly, freshening Rheingold, always happily dry. The clean, clear taste you want in beer is in Rheingold extra dry. From Lexington to Madison and on both sides of Park, they ask for Rheingold extra dry before and after dark. From Coney to Connecticut on Flatbush Avenue, from Jersey scenes way out to Queens, they sing as millions do.
Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets.
Freshening and happily dry beer.
So
I think we get the idea.
Oops. Let me come off. So Rheingold was the beer that had the big ad at Yankee Stadium.
That's right.
At the old stadium.
Yes, right under the scoreboard.
Right under the scoreboard. The other thing about Schaefer is they had a commercial. Tony Bennett sang the commercial theme song on one of their live commercials. So that was Shell.
Also, there was something about the Rheingold song that sounded very similar.
Yes, east side, west side,
all around the town. You got to think that maybe somebody was bucking for an opportunity there, a little free advertising there. No, that's funny. I really heard the Mets song in there. You know,
yeah.
Do you have that? Can you pull up the Mets song?
I could try and pull up the Mets song. I could pull
the Mets song. I got to tell you, the Mets had a better song than the Yankees song. The Yankees song is stupid. Like, here come the Yankee. I hate that.
Hopefully there's no
let's go.
Meet the Mets, step right up and greet the Mets.
Casey.
He's everywhere.
You gotta hate that. He's the big star of 1963, man.
Gil Hodges.
Yes. Oh boy. Ooh, did you see Roger Craig? How about you? Giant firm. Oh, great. That's supposed to be Casey. Duke Snyder. Did you see Duke Snyder?
Yeah, Duke Snyder. He was a Met
I forgot.
coach.
He was a Met, an original Met.
All right. So the Mets stole it from Reingold. Well, I like this. There's this nice picture of Shea. Look at that nice picture of Shea.
Oh, the shingles. Remember the old shingles?
Yeah, the old shingles. That was good stuff. So that's they definitely stole some stuff from there. So getting back
Wow,
to
this
some
has
of
been
the
like sort of Mets coast to coast tonight. A lot of Mets.
yeah, we've had a lot of Mets talk. Speaking of
I'm
Mets
okay
talk,
with that. I'm okay. We're an equal opportunity.
We are an equal opportunity ripper of people. My friend, my cousin Matthew Herman, who was supposed to be on our show to talk about the
Speaking of
Yankees
Met
and
fans,
Mets, is a huge Mets fan and has been MVP at Mets Fantasy Camp. He says the best food he's ever had in stadium, and I was with him when he had it, was at SBCATT Pac Bell Oracle Park in San Francisco. The garlic fries or the Ghirardelli Sundae were amazing, and it is the best ballpark location in America. I will say this: it is a great view, but that's not why you go to the game. And you don't go to the game to slide down the Coca-Cola slide, and you don't go to Build-A-Bear, and you don't go to the video game plaza underneath center field bleachers. You don't go to the game for all of those things. You're supposed to be watching the game. So who gives a crap about Build-A-Bear and all that stuff? Not to mention the fact the stadium was built for baseball only. The first event, monster truck rally. Second event, a football game. And baseball only stadium. Where should the seats be pointed? Where does 90% of baseball happen? Adam?
home plate, pitcher's
Home
mound.
plate to pitcher's mound. All of the seats at Pac Bell ATT SBC Oracle Park point behind second base to the middle of the field. You go to the game and you sit down the third base line in the second row and you watch the whole game like this, and you wake up the next morning and you're like, why does my neck hurt? Or you do it down the first base line. So what you need to do is buy a seat on either side and spend 4.5 innings looking this way and then 4.5 innings looking that way, so that you are then you can't turn the seat, you can only turn your neck, so you're even.
That's right.
Yeah. So
did they ever think about throwing in a free chiropractic appointment? It'll increase.
Who knows?
Maybe something like that.
I did sit in the luxury section right behind home plate for a Giants game and got to go to their club food. And I had a corned beef sandwich under there, and it's hard to get good corned beef here in California.
Oh,
you can get Irish style corned beef, but not kosher style corned beef. And I had a really good sandwich underneath there. But Matthew Harmon did chime in also with his worst food, and it really is not as much as his worst food as much as his worst experience. He goes, the Yankees suck. He hates everything about them. He hates everything about them. And the new stadium looks like the Department of Sanitation building in Men in Black. Anything
I don't disagree.
Is crap.
Listen, that's a really good point. Yankee Stadium is not beautiful. It's not. It's like what were they going to build? And it's a great thing that I want to talk about at some point. But why did the Yankees build the Coliseum? The Roman. It's always like, and I love that they combine the old and the new. It was great, but he's right. It is a lot of concrete. There's not a lot of charm. They have no charm at all. You don't like it? You don't care?
No, I don't like the new. I think Citi Field is a much better field than Yankee Stadium.
Absolutely.
And the reason is Yankee Stadium is holding less fans than the old stadium, right? The old stadium held over 50. This one holds about 46.
No, this holds 50, but the old one holds 57, and this one hasn't. They knocked 7,000.
Yeah, but they get to 50. They get to 50 by putting people in places where they can't see the field. And it's at clubs and stuff. And this field has 3 times the footprint that the old stadium has, and it's got a smaller seating capacity. Everything is so much farther away from the stadium. And I think that any of the old Yankee Stadium charm of the fans being right on top of you and really being allowed to be true New York fans is gone.
Yeah.
And New Yankee Stadium is antiseptic. It's just not good. I do love the fact that you can walk around the stadium and still see into the field, which you couldn't do at the old stadium. I do love the fact that it's not limited to the the city block like the other one was, so that you really, even when the stadium's packed, you could still walk around the stadium and not say excuse me, pardon me to everybody you walk by.
It was
like
hard.
that, but why couldn't they make the stands, compact them and make them steep?
There's a reason. And it has to do with building violations, building codes. Like they're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to be, I don't know what it is, if it's about, like they had to make it so that the lower bowl was smaller than the upper bowl. And I'm sorry, larger than the upper bowl. In the old days, the old stadium, the top part of the stadium was much bigger. They couldn't do that. They're not allowed. They're required to set back now. I remember reading this once because I said the same thing when they first built it. And I felt that it was the case with a lot of the stadia of today, that you're a little too far away when you're in the upper deck. But the reason is that they're not allowed to build that way anymore.
Well, if they could build that way in all the indoor arenas, you're right on top of each other.
I don't know about it. Listen, I don't know what
SAP Center going up the upper deck. It's that's a steep angle. All right, let's get to one of our regular listeners. He came in with 3 suggestions for us, and that would be our buddy Dave Hall, I believe, Big Juicy.
Dave, thank you.
Okay, starting off with my worst experience would be last year at the SAP Center in San Jose, the Shark Tank. And for the first time in over 30 years, the Sharks actually offer some old-time hockey food, poutine that is. But I got to say, it was a fail. The cheese curds may have been mozzarella cheese for all I know, and they were served over cold French fries. So I'm going to have to put the Sharks in the penalty box on this one.
Well, first of all, anybody who eats cheese curds is crazy. But let's see what he has to say for himself. By the way, he was probably using my tickets or Mark Gimello's tickets that day.
And on the other side, the best food I've had is at Oracle Park, home of the San Francisco Giants. The crab sandwich that you can get out in the center field food pavilion. It's a throwback to the old Crazy Crab mascot days, and you can get that along with Gilroy garlic French fries, a great combination, and get some beer to go with it, and it doesn't get any better than that.
And then last but not least.
And as far as drinks go, well, beer and baseball are made for each other, and at Petco Park in San Diego, they have got an incredible selection of microbreweries that have pop-up locations throughout the ballpark. And you can get, I'm not kidding, 15 to 20 different kinds of craft beer, all from the San Diego, Southern California area. Plenty to keep you busy the whole game and then some.
So
thank you for that, man. That's a
good thing. Now I'm going to play a couple more of these. We're going to go on a little bit of a roll with some of these, since I told them I'd get them out there, since they are loyal listeners. We're going to go to some kid named Jamie Schneider.
Never heard of him.
Hey guys, so my favorite stadium food item might actually be from Citi Field. I got an Italian sausage there, which is really good actually. My dad also actually let me get sushi one time at Yankee Stadium. That was actually pretty good too. Of course, now we know Yankee Stadium doesn't have great food anymore. Well, I guess it never did. But their chicken bucket's terrible, hot dog's terrible, Johnny Rockets always bad.
All right, so let me just say this: he liked the stomped on, trampled on.
You know what? This is again part of why we do this podcast. Everybody has a right to an opinion, whether you're in New York, whether you're in San Francisco, San Diego, wherever you are. You can bring us your opinion, and that's fine. That's fine. I could not disagree more. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've seen him eat that stuff, and I've seen him eat it rather quickly and with some excitement. But hey,
he's 20 years old. He can eat anything. He's got a
really can.
stomach. So, all right. So while we're on sons, or I'll say alleged sons, I'm going to get into my kids. They sent me some messages. My son, Matthew, Oakland Coliseum. The pizza is absolutely the worst. Always undercooked and is just crap.
How do you feel? How do you really feel?
How does he
Don't
really-
hold back, brother.
He's also the one that sent in the cookie nachos, and he wrote down the cookie nachos at the club level as a base of cookies are a base for the nachos with ice cream and cookies, chocolate chip cookies throughout. Good chocolate chip cookies with sundae toppings. It's too big to finish, but too good not to finish. That's what he said. And then my other alleged son,
Your last son,
my alleged last son that I know about, his favorite food does come from Yankee Stadium as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, take it for what it's worth. A chicken tender bucket. It's self-explanatory why it's the best. So much chicken, so many fries, and the design. It comes in a helmet bucket. How could you not like it? Now,
It's also $37.
Well, it doesn't matter. All my sons, and they're not. It's not like they pay when they're with us. That's why the value is so good. But my kids have very limited palates when it comes to sports foods. They'll eat chicken and fries, burgers, and pizza. They don't eat hot dogs. My kids. Neither one of them even puts ketchup on their burgers.
Jewish boys. Nice Jewish boys.
Yeah. And then Max's worst food is from SAP Center in San Jose. They had the worst curly fries ever. They were never cooked properly, never had any taste, so bad that they don't even offer them anymore. So
very good.
We're doing that. And then I will say this. When I've been to Tampa to go to a Lightning game in that arena, granted, again, I didn't pay for the ticket, so value was not an issue. But we did sit in a section, a club section, where the beer tap was self-service.
Oh, okay.
So it was all you could drink, and it was self-service. So Coos got us in there. It was me, Coos, was it Marcus Thames, I think, was with us, and Sturts. I think that was the four of us that were there to the game I went to. But Coos got us in. Mike Couscouses.
You went to a ball game with Tanya Sturts?
I went to a Tampa Bay Lightning. I'm pretty sure it was Tanya. It was Marcus, Coos, me. John was with us. And I think it was Sturts. Might not have been Sturts. I can't remember. But
you would have remembered Sturts. I mean,
it was.
And by the way,
that arena. By the way, the arena in Tampa is freaking fantastic.
So it was during the year. You were at camp.
No, it was during camp. During camp.
Back when you were on the River Dogs.
Tampa Bay Lightning, and they have these balls, lightning balls, that shoot lightning when the Tampa scores a goal, and it shoots lightning across the arena into a little box. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's just a great arena. Not as good as in Vegas, though, where they have the dancing girls at the Golden Knights games, where the other team is warming up. You know, they're shooting into the goal before the game. The dancing girls in their scanty-clad outfits are pressing their chests up against the glass while the other team is warming up. It is so
That's funny.
It is so funny to watch. It is fantastic.
That's really good. Anything else?
Yeah, I got a couple more. My friend Rob Weiland, also a Madison Square Garden entry, he said the third period pretzels at the Garden are hard like rocks, and they could be used to replace the pucks.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice. Oh, also, don't we have a couple of Kramer things here?
Yeah, we'll get to them in a second. And then the other thing that my friend Rob was very upset. He said the Astros are still the biggest cheaters, and he hates them, but their food's really good. The barbecue brisket at Minute Maid Field was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had somebody chime in. We got to get him in. It's Frankie the Yankee.
Ah, another FOS.
So Frankie the Yankee, who said the app wouldn't let him tape just now. Oh, he just sent in this. Here we go. I'll hold this up for you to see. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get it back. It's the Ballantine beer ad.
Wow.
So
that's great. Frankie's first game, 1948.
He said Rheingold was the only beer that was sold at Shea, and Ballantine Ale was the only thing sold at Yankee Stadium. Frankie, you are old.
This is a fact. That was the 1948 ad. Frankie's first game. You know,
I think that might have been his first game as a grandfather.
we love you, Frank. Keep coming. So sorry for the abuse.
Along those themes, we're going to get to Kramer last because we'll use it as a promotion for him as well. My brother Todd said if I don't put him in this show, he's never going to watch or listen again.
All right.
And my brother Richard refused to do it. I don't know exactly why.
He's one of only 7 people that
at Yankee Stadium. The LaBelle steaks are really good, but during the last few years, they have gone downhill. They used to put a lot of meat on the sandwiches, and now not so much.
Man, amazing. Can you imagine that? In an effort to turn a profit, the Yankees have cut down the amount of steak on their sandwich.
Well, that's like your bag of chips.
Shocking!
Your bag
Shocking!
of chips went from 14 ounces to 12 ounces, but the bag size didn't change. So he also chimed in.
That's right. You go in, it takes you half an hour to reach your bite.
Yeah, I mean, it's called
You
what they
bet.
call it. It's not deflation. I forgot what it's called, but it's definitely not supersizing. So Todd came in with a couple others. Here's Todd's next one.
If I lived in Oakland and everything was 25 cents for a hot dog or $1 all you can eat for the night, like it is just because they can't get any fans there, that would be great. But I live in New York, and there's no reason to eat any food at Yankee Stadium because you could bring anything you want into the stadium. You could bring in a whole box of pizza. You could bring in sandwiches. You could bring in sodas. The only thing you can't bring in is alcohol in hard containers. No reason for you to do anything at Yankee Stadium except bring your own food.
The best is,
Very
that's
good.
true. At SAP Center in San Jose, you have to bring in your food from the outside in its original wrapper. So you can bring in a box of pizza. So I asked them one day, I said, one day, what happens if I go out and get a 6-foot burrito? Can I bring in the 6-foot burrito? They go, as long as it's in the original wrapper, you can bring it in. I was like, okie dokie.
Wow.
And then last but not least, Todd chimed in with one more.
Also, I do agree with my brother Rich. I do think they should bring back the dirty water dogs and the guys walking around with the steam coming out of the cases. And then they should open up the hot dog, grab the hot dog with a fork, open up the bun with their hand, and they'll hand you that with a couple of packets of mustard. Plus, they didn't even offer you ketchup because ketchup does not belong on a hot dog.
There you go.
Well thought. Well said. Thank you. And it's so. Do I have such memories of that? Of them coming in, like sitting there, and you got a guy like he's standing at your seat. His groin is sweating, miserable, covered with the New York in August, and he's just like right there cutting into it, and then he pops it out there, and you feel the dirt in his hands. You can almost taste it before it's even in your mouth. It's so intense. So the memories of that. Come on, do you remember doing that? Do you remember the steamy the steamy hot dogs? That was fantastic. But you know what I remember? Who mentioned earlier the plastic on the
Shell,
top
the plastic top of the beer.
I have such memories, but I didn't do it with beer. I did it with Pepsi or Coke, whatever the
Yes,
Yankee
they had it with
Pepsi.
the soda too.
And they would do it with the soda, and then you start drinking it, and then sometimes you take up some of the plastic.
Yep, that's what Shell said.
And then it would lodge, like here.
Right in this area.
Right
in this area. Very Chris Farley.
It would lodge.
Tommy boy. Anyhow, I want to show you something. I just found this online, and I'll show you this as well. This is Oakland Coliseum. This guy just lost his job.
Oh no.
My name's Hal Gordon. The Oakland A's fans might know me better as Hal the Hot Dog Guy. How you doing? Between high school and college, my parents said I need to find a summer job. This was when I was living in Chicago, and I thought, well, if I have to find a job, why don't I do it at the ballpark? 2016 rolled around, and I said, I wonder how I can vend in the Bay Area. My first game, I think, here was opening night at the Coliseum in 2016. And then in 2017, the vending company, Holland Jam, thought, this would be fun if we bring back old-time hot dog selling at the A's. The other person who was really involved in starting hot dog vending at the Coliseum was Jimmy Graff, who...
All right, so I'm cutting him off.
And now, was he... Did I see something there? Did he actually have... I appreciated that he had gloves on. I really do.
Oh,
but it looked like
you lose the extra flavor.
It looked like the glove was actually in the hot dog.
Oh yeah.
So a piece of it was breaking off into the.
I will say this. Wait. So when there was COVID, a former hot dog vendor at Oakland Coliseum is an Academy Award 2-time, I believe, if not 3-time, Academy Award winning actor. Was a hot dog vendor at the Oakland Coliseum. Can you name him?
Was it Tarantino?
No, Tarantino's New Yorker.
Oh, okay. I don't know who.
Tom Hanks.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. As a matter of fact, when it was COVID, Tom Hanks sent in. They did the cardboard cutouts in the stands. Tom Hanks sent in his cardboard cutout of him dressed up as the hot dog guy. Because he used to sell hot dogs at the Oakland Coliseum. Todd Goober's chiming in. He's pissed because he couldn't get his answer in quick enough, Todd Goober. He knew the answer to that question.
My apologies for ruining it. I did not know. That's a real surprise.
Yes. Tom Hanks was a hot dog vendor at the Oakland Coliseum.
Shall we finish with the Kramer?
All right, so now we get the Kramer. This is going to be an onslaught of Kramer.
A lot of Kramer.
In anticipation of the Tuesday Kramer affair. All right, you ready? Here we go, Kramer.
The K-Dog here. On the topic of food, one of our favorite subjects, Boog's Barbecue Pit Beef Sandwich at Camden Yards is one of the best ballpark snacks that you'll find.
Thank you, Kramer.
I wanted to go back to something that my brother Todd said. Those steak sandwiches that Todd referenced, all of those articles that I found said that Lobel's steak sandwich is the go-to food at Yankee Stadium.
A lot of people seem to like it. I have had it. I find it hard to eat. It's you have it. You take a bite and the whole thing
shoots out the other side.
No, the whole thing. It's so thick and so tough that you bite it and then the whole thing comes out of the bun and you're walking around for 10 minutes with a steak sandwich hanging out of your mouth. And in New York, that's dangerous. You can get in a lot of trouble in the Bronx if you walk around with meat hanging out of your mouth.
Well, Adam, you're used to meat hanging out of your mouth, but
that's a
story for another time.
That's what she said. Okay, I was waiting.
All right, let's see what else K-Dog has to say.
The K-Dog here. Another one of the better ballpark options for food is the Lobel's steak sandwich at Yankee Stadium. They pile the meat high, and it's one of the few ballpark options that's worth the money.
Well, according to Todd, they don't pile the meat high anymore. But Kramer is
Kramer. He used to make me go get it. Hey, Schneider. Thanks. Hey, I got a free ticket tonight. You want to go? Sure.
You can buy me a Lobel's steak sandwich.
Send 5 innings online for me.
You got to get him to have more energy, though. His energy level. It's really nice when he's in court talking to the judge so respectfully like this, but he's got to have better energy. All right, let's see.
Anything else? Yeah. Are we done?
No, we got one more K-Dog, and then we'll talk quickly.
K-Dog here. Now, if you all get to PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Manny's BBQ stand is not only a must-try for the pulled pork and the pierogies, but Manny Sanguian, who runs the stand, is there personally for most Pirates home games. Well worth it.
There you go. You got Tony Oliva and Manny Sanguian. Used to have Orlando